Now, the other key thing that we want to talk about today, changing the conversation and talking about the success stories of the exempt market. I'm going to introduce David Jokes, the Vice Chair of the EMDA, who's going to present the Exempt Market Deal of the Year Awards for 2013.
Good afternoon. We are going to carry on with our theme of changing the conversation and talking about the successes and some of the great things that are happening in the exempt market. The EMDA Awards celebrate the excellence and showcase leadership examples in the exempt market. And the EMDA Awards are the first and only awards that are Canadian industry awards that recognize prominent exempt market transactions led by exempt market dealers in Canada. Capital raised in the exempt market it helps finance economic activity across Canada, and it's an important contributor to creating wealth and fueling our economy. Our award winners are helping to finance entrepreneurs and innovators. They help develop and grow emerging businesses. And as pointed out by Michael Lee Chin, they are great at creating successful alternative exempt market investments for Canadians. Now, there are a number of different business models. Paul Hayward talked about that earlier today. And the winners demonstrate a number of those different models. So here's the GP, the game plan. I'll announce the award and the winner. Then I'll announce the presenter and the recipient. Jeff will provide the plaques to the presenter. And I'll give a short little vignette on the deal. And then the winner may come here and speak for a minute or two about the transaction, and then we'd ask them to go with the presenter to have a picture in front of the banner. So, our first deal is the Technology Growth Deal of the Year, and it goes to Cranson Securities. Now, the award will be presented by Michael Lee Chin, our keynote speaker, and the recipient is Devin Cranson. Now, this transaction was related to a private placement equity financing of Keek Incorporated, which is a fast-growing social media video app. It's used in the fastest-growing media video app in the world. Whoa.
Thank you very much. As you said, Keek is a very exciting business, and really the credit goes to the entrepreneurs in this situation. When we started raising capital for them, they had a couple 100,000 users on their platform. It's a video version of Twitter, and investors started looking at us, sideways. What are you thinking, raising money for this company? And as we went through the capital raise, they were adding users at an incredible pace, and today they have 36 million users. They're at the size that Instagram was when Facebook bought them for $1 billion. So hopefully there's a lot of investors in Toronto who took a chance on this company and will see a big win one day, and we're very proud to be a part of it.
Our next award is the Debt Financing Deal of the Year. It goes to Crosbie Company. And receiving the award is Ed Giacomi. And presenting along with Mr. Lee Chin will be Lance Cotton, President, our platinum sponsor and President of Titan Equity Group. Sorry. Crosbie and Company was advisor to the Enoch Cree Nation in refinancing of the River Cree Resort and Casino in Edmonton.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be honored with this award. I want to acknowledge two of my colleagues here, Ramit Malhotra and Richard Betzalel, who did the real work on this. This was an engagement that was about 2 years in the making. We were retained as the independent financial advisor to the Enoch Cree Nation. This is a greenfield casino. It's a hugely successful casino in Alberta today, and we were brought in really not knowing what our role was going to be as independent advisor. At one point, we thought we were going to help them do a very large high-yield financing, trying to help steer the transaction in that direction. Took a lot of different turns, and in the end, we ended up with a very successful bank financing. But it came out of providing independent advice, and we had to work together with their gaming partner in Las Vegas. So it was quite an interesting ride. Anyway, thank you.
Our next award is the Equity Financing Real Estate Deal of the Year, and it's going to be awarded to MNP Corporate Finance Incorporated. Presenting the award will be Tim Kozar, and accepting the award will be John Canello. We had the photographers in the way of the recipient. This award was this award is in regard to an equity financing of a premier waterfront hotel and condominium complex in Thunder Bay, Ontario.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you on behalf of MNP Corporate Finance and specifically the partner involved in this transaction. It was out of our Winnipeg office. His name is Brett Franklin, who did a phenomenal job on this transaction. It was about 5 years in the makings, and it's a 3-tower complex on the waterfront of Thunder Bay. 2 condominium buildings and 1 hotel. We signed up Delta to run the hotel, and he managed to raise the equity portion of the deal. It's a $60 million deal, but the equity portion of the deal was a little smaller than that. He managed to do it in 1 week. So he really hustled out there, and it was a great transaction for the firm. Thank you.
Our next award will be the Renewable Energy Deal of the Year, and the winner is Sloane Capital Corporation. Presenting the award is Steve Warden from MNP, our silver sponsor, along with Mr. Leachin. This award is for debt financing for a solar income fund, which focuses on solar photovoltaic energy generation projects.
Great. Thanks very much. I'd like to thank the EMDA. I've been registered in Ontario here since 1975, actually. It's been 38 years. So it's nice to win something. I feel like I feel like Geddy Lee and Rush, right? But one thing I'd like to do when I started, well, my first limited market dealer was 1990. I was with Nesbitt before that, and that was before the Bank of Montreal owned them. It was actually Nesbitt, Thompson, Bongard, right? So I've seen quite a bit, but 1990, I had my first LMD. There was no association like this. You paid $1,000 and hey, you go to work, right? Knocking on doors like Michael did, right? Michael, I met in 1988, 25 years ago, and the one thing that wasn't said about him today, right, a lot of good things were said, the philanthropy, everything else, but Michael's responsible, right, for creating thousands and thousands of jobs and opportunities here in Canada and in Jamaica, so I really want to thank Michael for that. And with the raise here finally, before I go, I just want to thank, we have Craig Burrows in the back. He's president of TriView Capital. Raintree helped out on this. Pinnacle helped on this. So I'd like to thank everybody, and we're looking forward to doing more business with Solar Income Fund and some of the issuers that we're handling here at Sloane Capital Corp. Thank you very much.
Our next award is the our next award is the Private Technology Deal of the Year, and the winner is IBK Capital. Receiving the award will be Mike White, and presenting the award will be Dax of Maverick Energy, one of our bronze sponsors. And this deal is in relation to IBK's private placement equity financing of Opal Technologies and its semiconductor planar optoelectronic technology.
Well, thank you very much for this award. IBK Capital's been around for 25 years now. We started out as an LMD, and it is just wonderful to see that this what the EMDA has done for our business. I'd like to thank, of course, everybody at Opal Technologies, as well as everybody at my firm, IBK Capital, for this award, for making this possible. Opal Technologies is a semiconductor company. It's 24 years in the making. Dr. Jeffrey Taylor out of the University of Connecticut, formerly of Bell Labs, has spent a long time working on technology, a substrate made out of gallium arsenide that could really be the future of computing. We all know that silicon is pushing the boundaries of Moore's Law. They used to be able to double the speed and half the size year after year after year, and they can't do that to that degree anymore, so they're looking for alternatives. And Opal's technology, which is an optoelectronic interface all on one die, could be the future of computing. So it's a potentially multi-billion-dollar business, certainly a multi-billion-dollar industry, and all the best to Opal going forward. And I thank them, and I thank my colleagues at IBK Capital and the EMDA for this award. Thank you.
Our next award is for the Private Debt Deal of the Year, and the award goes to Precipice Capital. Now, unfortunately, Precipice Capital has no one here today, but Brian Prill is going to accept the award for Precipice, and Jeff, along with Mr. Lee Chin, will provide the award. Now, this is in response to a capital debt financing of a portfolio of residential properties in Atlantic Canada.
Well, it gives me great pleasure to accept this award on behalf of Precipice, and it's also encouraging that it's an award that is the result of a deal out in Atlantic Canada, and I'm glad to see that. I'm going to read a little prepared statement that Chris has provided for us. It's thanks to the EMDA. I know that our team really appreciates the recognition. Unfortunately, I'm at the tail end of a family vacation down south, and I think we all wish he was with him, and I'm not able to attend in person. I'm signed up for the webcast, and he's visiting us virtually. Chris has found that his association with the EMDA has been really beneficial, and he hopes that over time that it will allow to build a more robust capital market in the ecosystem in Atlantic Canada when it comes to the exempt market. Thanks again. All the best to all the attendees.
Our next award is our Real Estate Debt Financing Deal of the Year, and that goes to Walton Capital. Accepting the award will be Mike Pavicic, and presenting will be Sheldon Steer from Exempt Logic, our bronze sponsor, along with Mr. Lee Chin. And this award is in response to a high-yield bond financing of Walton, California High Falls LP, a pre-development land project in California.
Thank you to the EMDA for the purpose you serve for all of us in this room, and for the award. We're truly honored and grateful for it. Just to speak a little bit about the transaction itself and the deal, it was our first venture into one of the major housing markets in North America, being Southern California. We've been watching this market for the better part of a decade, and we finally came across an opportunity that served us very, very well. And this opportunity was unique in the fact that we also blended a component of corporate bond with the deal itself. So it was unique in structure. It was obviously the efforts of several departments and business units back at head office. And so on behalf of Walton International, Walton Capital, I want to say thank you to everyone, particularly the EMDA. Thank you all.
Our residential real estate deal of the year, we have a double winner, which is Cranson Securities. Our presenter will be Greg Nelson from IBK Capital, one of our bronze sponsors, along with Mr. Lee Chin and Devin Cranson to accept the award. And this is in response to the private placement debt financing for Plaza Corp's residential project at Yonge and Shepherd.
So 2 awards, it's a great day, and we had a good year. This deal was a completely different deal from the Keek deal. It was an example of offering our clients some diversification. Investors were given the opportunity to take marginally more risk than the banks in a condo development deal where the sales were already completed. It was already under construction. The bank financing was already in place. There was very little risk left in the deal, and we provided our investors with double the interest rate that the bank took. So a little more risk, a lot more return, and investors filled the deal pretty quickly. I think we did it in 3 weeks. We filled $10.6 million for this deal. And if you drive by Yonge and Shepherd, you'll see the Emerald Park Towers. It's going to be a gorgeous addition to the North York skyline. So great opportunity for investors to diversify. And actually a lot of investors that did take the risk on the Keek transaction also took the yield on this deal. So a good example of what we heard today of what the EMD is able to provide for investors. So thank you.
Our final award is for the Commercial Real Estate Deal of the Year, and it's awarded to Arlington Street Investments, and Craig Burrows will accept. And presenting will be our director, EMDA Director, Marty Gunderson, also with Productivity Media, along with Mr. Lee Chin. Now, this deal is in relation to a syndication that was led by Triview Capital through the 8th Avenue Limited Partnership in Calgary.
Hi, thank you. And again, of course, the worst spot, the guy who's in between dinner, is the guy who's in between cocktails, so I'll be really quick here. First of all, on behalf of Arlington Street Investments, which is our developer that we work with, our partner, we want to, first of all, we're very honored by the award from the EMDA to be recognized. These kind of the success stories, because these are the things we should be triumphing about and speaking about. The other thing also too, I want to also congratulate the other nominees and of course the other category recipients in their respective categories. Just quickly from Arlington, just so you know why we're so excited about this, there's been a lot of talk about real estate in Alberta and out west and the difference between a developer and a speculator, promoter. And we deal with developers. And I'll give you an example of this. January 2012, we saw a dilapidated building in downtown Calgary, put $2 million in through investors' money. And 14 months later, that land was built to 2-story to 4-story, was all refaced and cleaned up, leased up, just got appraised for $12 million, and we just got an unsolicited offer for $12.5. What does that mean? That $2 million in 14 months, that $2 million is now worth between $7 and $7.5 million. So a 300% return for our investors in 14 months. We don't say that happens all the time, But what we will tell you, what Arlington Street Investments does is their track record is three things. One, capital preservation. They've never lost a dollar of deals. And again, this is their 12th deal. Second thing they do is they provide high single-digit returns for their investors while they wait for capital appreciation. And their capital appreciation is that they've doubled their investors' money in 5 years on all the 12 projects. You haven't heard of them because they deal with accredited investors. They're one of the issuers that realized they had to get back into the exempt market world. They kept their success. They couldn't sustain it. They had to start looking at the EMD space to raise money. TriView Capital, we're a new company. You haven't probably heard of us. We're new, but we're growing out west. And I got to know Steve. You're the oldest company around here, and we're probably the youngest. But our partners have got many years of experience. We've raised over $6 billion. That's a B of private equity through our partners and managed $250 million of institutional assets. They wanted to bring the credibility, the professionalism of the institutional side of private equity into the retail market. So we're very excited about that. And the last thing I want to say is before I leave, for especially people in Ontario, EMDs and portfolio managers, we, like Stephen, want to work together. What I like about Stephen at Sloane, that they're the ones that really came out to say to the out west, why don't we start syndicating? I don't know why we don't syndicate in this market, but definitely want to reciprocate here in Ontario. There's people that are a little worried about Alberta, Ontario real estate. There's tremendous opportunities in downtown Calgary, and we would love to share those success with you going forward and having a long-term relationship with our other partners. Thank you.
And everyone here, your EMDA award winners this year. Big round of applause for them.